Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial video on how to create a terrain in 3ds Max with the plugin known as Tyflow. So first thing first is to obviously get Tyflow, and once you have Tyflow, you should be able to find the Tyflow icon that you can place on the model through this tab here known as the Create tab. Um, Move along to here, Tyflow, click that, and then just click anywhere on the software. So there, for example, and then you should see this. So after you've done that, click onto the Modify tab, and then open up the editor. And then this is generally how you do anything with Tyflow. Um, and so the one we want to get is just scrolling it down towards here, and the one we want is actually called Birth Terrain. Um, so, obviously you can also just scroll and find Birth Terrain, but you can also just simply press, hover your mouse over this screen here, and then press Tab, and you can simply click Birth Terrain, and then just click on it. Bang. And you should come up with this as well. So now that you have your Birth Terrain, and this is generally how, this is where your terrain will spawn, essentially. And you can really just mess with it, right? So you can click onto birth terrain, and then you see there's frames, scale, initial height, resolution, all these different kinds of settings. So you can really just mess with it. But I'm gonna reduce this to from 250 to 200 meters in scale. Um, and then once you've done that, you want to find the terrain noise. There it is, terrain noise, and then add that, and it should give you a very basic generated um, terrain on this plane. And this plane generation is actually based off this noise preview that they have here. So if you click onto the terrain noise tab in Tyflow, um, you should see this. So, you can really just, there's so many presets, so you can just click onto it, and there's so many different ones you can use. I don't know, maybe the cellular, and you want to do ridged, maybe. And change the hybrid, maybe, something like that, see what you get. But for today, we're going to use simplex, and we're going to use ridged, because I want to create a mountain, or Mount Everest. Um, So after you've done that, go to terrain slope, and then put that underneath the noise tab, and then it should give you something like this. And this formation, or this mountain perhaps, is basically based off this curve that you see here. And you can really just mess with it however you want. So I think Mount Everest has a bit more of a bit more of a steep kind of angle. So let's try and do something like this maybe, right? And you can see the shape actually changes along with it, right? And I don't know, maybe you want to create some little other ridges in between the mountain, right? So maybe here, and then you potentially try do something like this maybe. Um, do, I don't know, like that. See what happens, right? And I'm pretty happy with that, right? So the next thing you can do is also change the color. So what we want to grab is the terrain color, put that here, and Mount Everest has that very dark uh, color, very nice dark color. So I think that should be around Rocky Trails, maybe? Rocky Trails might give us a black color, grayish color, gray tone color. It'll take a bit to do its thing, but once it comes up, this terrain should change. There you go. Perfect. So there's that. And you see, when you put the color in, it also uses the terrain geometry to generate other sorts of things, right? Like these grasses here. So, um, it basically imagines as if, obviously these grass type areas can only grow on places which are more flatter than the other. And, it's pretty cool that you can do this sort of thing with Tyflow. It's very handy. Um, Anyways, let's go to terrain effects. So, um, with this one, we can basically just change the terrain geometries, right? So rather than having it be the smooth geometry, maybe we want some nicer ridges like this. Right? So if you go to the settings here, it's under rugged, but I want rocky. So let's go to rocky. Let's see what rocky does. Okay. Um, Basically just like smooths everything out. That's cool. But I think I'll go back to ridges. Oh, not ridges, sorry. Rugged. I think that looks a lot better. I like the mountain being a lot more pointier. See, that looks great. All right, perfect. And the next thing we can have is terrain snow. So just grab this fella, drop it in, and then it should instantly give you something that looks like Mount Everest. Yeah, very cool. So yeah, that's basically everything there is to know about terrain snow. Oh, not terrain snow. Um, how to make a terrain. If you want to make this snow a little bit more thicker, perhaps you can also just simply up the geometries, but I won't do that because it might slow my PC down. But yeah, there's a lot of little cool, powdered snow, compact snow, ice. You can really just modify this however you want, really. Um, and if you want to mess with this terrain even more, you can even add all these kinds of different tools here, as you can see in Tyflow. So there's a bunch of different tools you can play with, erosion, for example, or other sorts of things. But yeah, that's basically all there is. Thanks for watching.